Anand, His Excellency Anand Panyarachun is with us, and I would like to invite Mr. Marc Bihan, our host, Secretary General of the ING, to offer a welcome address.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor for ING to provide this auditorium for the third Amartya Sen lecture on sustainable development.
Representatives of the Cambridge, Harvard and Oxford societies in Belgium, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm deeply touched by the generosity and graciousness of the words uttered by my very good friend Amartya Sen. He and I were practically contemporaries at Trinity College, Cambridge, in the early 50s, but we did not know each other then. While I took economics part 1, he also was taking economics part 1 and part 2. While I was getting a bottom third class degree, and he was getting a first class degree with distinction. Professor Sen has inspired us all with his seminal contributions that, amongst others, have given new meaning to the ethical dimensions of the pressing economic and social challenges of our times. One of Professor Sen's most influential contributions is the concept of capability, which places human freedom in the center of the discourse on development. On democracy, Professor Sen has observed that, and I quote, "No substantial famine has ever occurred in any independent and democratic country with a relatively free press," end of quote. Aristotle proclaimed that if liberty and equality, as is thought by some, are chiefly to be found in a democracy, they will be best attained when all persons alike share in the government to the utmost. In our own times, we face compelling questions. Why does democracy seem so fragile? What elements are required for a country to reach the threshold necessary to sustain democracy? Let me share some insights from my experience as a former Prime Minister, committed to building democracy in Thailand, including through drafting a people's constitution. In my view, there are 7 main pillars of the architecture of democracy, namely elections, political tolerance, the rule of law, freedom of expression, accountability and transparency, decentralization, and civil society. The pillars of democracy that I have outlined above are necessary, but still insufficient without leaders to build and maintain the pillars of democracy. The qualities of leadership for sustainable democracy are to be found in those who act in an honest, transparent, and accountable manner. They are consensus builders, open-minded and fair. They're committed to justice and to advancing the public interest. And they are tolerant of opposing positions. They are, of course, have to be good listeners as well. It is often said that democracy is a messy way of governing and that the human condition is flawed. There is truth in both statements, but in admitting our limitations, let us strive to avoid the mistakes of the past and look forward to a new generation of leaders who can build on the lessons of the struggles of ordinary citizens for democracy.